Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jack, this is Jthbooks, and it is time to discuss my spring TBR. I've seen these videos during the rounds, the spring TBRs, and I love it. I love the thought of discussing what I plan to read over the next few months. Or not plan to, would love to, because we all know plans don't always work, do they? But I just love the idea of it. Spring is a very hopeful time, don't you think? The days have gotten longer. The sun has been shining here. Although I will say I'm not the type of boy that sits in the sun to read because I will burn. I will burn. I need Factor 50 sun cream. I need an umbrella, so I don't end up in agony. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought. So shall we just talk about the books instead? I've sort of split this into categories to make it a bit easier for myself. As you know, that's something I sort of need to do. Otherwise, I can't quite cope. So first up, I have the category of queer books, which is what I read a lot of, but there are a few specific ones, and this has like a subcategory, so it's getting a bit complicated now, isn't it, of what I would actually like to read and why, and, blah, blah, blah. So let's discuss the books. So, subcategory 1, queer books I've had on my shelves for quite a long time, and I would actually like to get to, and now feels like the perfect time. So first up, we have My Cat Yugoslavia. If you've been around this channel before, you'll know this has been on TBRs. I believe it's in the TBR jar. It is just everywhere, and yet I have never read it. It's featured in first line battles. It's just, it's not, I never actually pick it up. So I feel like now is the time. And I think if you want to know about a talking cat, spring's the time, right? That feels very springy to me. Or is it like actually Halloween, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Anyway, I know it's spring. I'm saying it's spring. But I've wanted to read this one for so long. I've had it on my shelves for so long. And I can just envision me reading it in spring. So it's on the spring TBR. In the Absence of Men by Philippe Besson, translated by Frank Wynne. I also have a translator fiction category coming up, so this could feature in that too. I have no hope of reading this. It's on there because it has to be on every TBR I've ever done because I want it. I want to read it. I just have such high hopes for it. But it's a little short book. I just feel like it's just what I want. I'm also after sad books, okay? So I feel like any of these queer ones could be sad, could make me cry, and that's what I want. But I always want to read this. Just terrified of it. The Great Believers by Rebecca Mackay. I know. People love this book, and I have still not read it. I feel like this would be a great one for spring because it's quite lengthy and you can just really sort of sink your teeth into it, and the days are longer and you don't, I won't fall asleep hopefully because it's dark. I feel like when it's dark at like 7 p.m, it's fine to fall asleep, but when it stays light to like 9:30, you don't want to fall asleep while the sun's out. So that is what I'm hoping for. I've heard brilliant things. It's just time. I finally read it and got it off my TBR, and spring, what better time? The Charioteer by Mary Renault. Oh, how have I not read this yet? I've owned it a while. It's sort of a pinnacle of queer fiction, historical fiction, and I just need to read it. And maybe superficially, I put it on the spring TBR because yellow, the sun. Do you see where I'm going with that? Because, the sunnier days, ignore that. I just want to read it. And then we have The Scottish Boy by Alex de Campi. This is actually featured on an autumn TBR where I said it's autumnal, but no, I've decided that spring is the season for big books, and there is no bigger book. Look at that. I could knock someone out with that. And it's been on my shelves for a very, very long time, so it really does just need to be read. So now we're going into subcategory 2, which is queer books, but newer ones that I haven't had as long, but are just calling my name. I want to read them this spring, and they need to be read. I just want to read them. First up, we have Sunstruck by William Rayford Hunter. This is an arc. It does not come out till May, which is spring, which is the perfect time for spring. It's even got a sun on it. This has to be read soon. I'm actually very excited for this one. I do feel like this one will make me cry, and that will be perfect because I think it's better to cry while the sun's out than crying in the winter. What I Know About You by Eric Shakur, translated by Pablo Strauss. Another translated one, which could have gone in the translated fiction category, but it has not. I do feel like this one will make me cry. And it's a book I got quite recently, so it very much fits into this category. But I'm ready to cry. I'm ready to cry at it. Is it weird to just want to cry all the time? Well, I sort of do anyway, so I may as well cry for books. Martyr by Kaveh Akbar. Haven't read this yet. How so many people's favourite books of 2024. It featured on so many people's lists, and I still have not read it. Absolute fool. I think this gives very spring vibes. Have I not done it? How have I not done it when I'm so eagerly anticipating it? But spring is time. Spring is time. Napalm in the Heart. This one doesn't seem very springy. Even I can admit that. It doesn't. But it was my friend's favourite book of last year, and it just calls to me. It just absolutely calls to me. I need it. I want it. So, and I've just seen, I didn't know, it's told in vignettes. So that'll be a quick, easy spring read. It might not be easy. Hopefully it'll make me cry. But it will be a quick read, maybe. And then a book I got recently, which I don't know if I've even hauled yet. It is The Greatest of All Time by Alex Allison. I've seen people reading this for their book clubs, like everywhere at the minute, and people are enjoying it. I've got a signed copy. This is sort of like the fun one, I think, for the queer book section, with a humour, heart, and a touch of rebellion. So I think it's about football. I'm no interest in football, but maybe this book could make me interested in football. And football, I would only ever play football, or if you're American, soccer, I would only ever play football in the spring, because it'd be too hot in the summer and it'd be too cold in the winter. So it's the perfect time. So now let's go on to the translated books. None of these are very springy, but I just have I feel like I haven't read that many translated fictions this year so far, and I need to get back on it because I love to read some translated fiction. So these are just ones that have appealed to me for a long time, and I want to read them, and I need to read them sooner to get me back into the swing of it. First up, we have Minor Detail by Adania Shibley. I just want to read this. People have been raving about it. There's no more prevalent time to read this, and yes, just a translated book. Oh, it's translated by Elizabeth Jacket. I should say that, shouldn't I? Very much looking forward to this one. Then we have An Orphan World by Giuseppe Caputo, translated by Joanna Adcock and Sophie Hughes. This is another one that I do like. Could fit in the queer book section, and the one that could make me cry. So it's a triple threat. But I am very, very excited. I love Charco Press. So just want to read this one and just get my translated fiction, because when you get like a thing for it, you really want to read more. That is the beauty of translated fiction. And then lastly, we have What Can You See From Here by Marianne Leckie, translated by Tess Lewis. I actually brought this one on a whim many years ago because it was on a table in Waterstones, and I put it on my Instagram. If you want to follow my Instagram, it's all down below. And people really raved about it, and I've wanted to read it ever since. And the animal just gives me spring vibes. It just gives me spring vibes on the front. So, as you can tell, a lot of these have been done by cover. We also have Kitchen by Banana Yoshimoto, translated by Megan Backus. I have read this one for a very long time. Again, the neon just gives me spring vibes. But one I really desperately want to read. And it's short. And I've got like a short book section coming up next, so that could perfectly fit in there. So if you've been around for a while, you know my reading hasn't been going great. It's not been the best it's ever been. Just sort of struggling in many ways to pick up books, to be engaged. So I think sometimes for that, short books are the best. I know I've said I want to read long books, but sometimes you need a short book. You need a catchy, engaging, short book. And I have 3 here that very much appeal to me. First up, we have Rent Boy by Gary Indiana. Sort of like a queer classic, really, these days. Short. I love the cover. I don't smoke, but I do love the cover. Yeah, like I said, a bit of a queer classic. People really have been reading this recently, and I don't like to miss out. So a short book here, perfect for spring. A Minor Chorus by Billy Ray Belcourt. I can't believe I haven't read this yet. I get them from the same indie queer bookshop, and I just want to read it. I know people love it so much. Like I said, these aren't necessarily springy, but they're just short to get me back into reading. And I Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, translated by Roz Schwartz. Again, could have gone in the translated fiction section, but I decided to put it in the short book section because I've mentioned this one on the channel so many times. It's been in first line battles. And I just think if I ever am going to sit out in the sun and read, it would be a short book. Get it done. And then I can get away from the sun and be safe. Now we have the last section. I haven't gone mad for the spring TBR because you know me. I can't always handle a TBR that well. But I sort of have months to do this one, don't I? Until summer, which I don't know when summer is. June, is it? Is it the 21st of June? I don't know why I would say that, but that's ringing a bell. So we'll go for June. So, a couple of months to actually manage to read some of these books. So there is actually only 2 series here because series are long. They're long. I am a slow reader, so it would take me ages. But first up, I would like to reread, yes, you heard me right, reread the Hunger Games trilogy. I recently read the new one, Sunrise on the Reaping, and I loved it. I loved it. And I would like to visit the original. I'm a huge fan. I've actually never really reread them. I've seen the films many times, but I would love to reread these. And I feel like this one is actually really achievable for me to do in spring. And then I have a series, see me think about that. And then I have a series I would love to continue and definitely read at least one of them in spring, because they're not for the faint of heart, and they're not small. It is Game of Thrones. I actually don't even own the second one yet. I am going to try and pick them up from charity shops, and I haven't been to one yet. So, but whatever the second one is, shall I find out? A Clash of Kings. I would at least like to read A Clash of Spring in the springtime. Did I say spring? A Clash of Spring or A Clash of Kings? A Clash of Kings in spring. I would love to do that. I think I'm really engaged in this series. I finished the first book last month and I adored it. I loved the TV show. I'm so excited to see how different it gets. I love the different POVs we get. So I would really, really love to read the second one, at least in spring. By the end of the year, I would like to be up to date with the series, but I think that's too ambitious. So we will just go for A Clash of Kings in spring. So there we have it. My spring TBR for the next couple of months. Just heaven. Absolute heaven to have books to look forward to for the days to get a bit longer, and I can just get out of the darkness. I think that'll be nice. And yeah, just can't wait. I cannot wait to read them all. I am excited, especially for the series of Game of Thrones. Sorry, I shouldn't say it, and it feels probably quite basic, but I am excited to read the second one. So I really need to get to a charity shop soon. Maybe I'll make that a video and we'll go hunting for them. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know what's on your spring TBR. As I say all the time, chatting to you all is my absolute favourite thing to do. So feel free to like and subscribe, and I'm going to speak to you all really, really soon.